We love you. That's better.
Good.
So that's good to know then, AJ.
Yeah, man.
That's
Sorry.
good to know.
I don't know.
Hate to break it to you that way.
But definitely, I kind of gave up on the whole concept of being able to find one job that gives me what I need. And, I mean, and some would say what I do now is overkill. And I think it's I'm in the right position and I do the right thing to be able to do this. I wouldn't say as a dev that's like hardcore, like building functions and features, you could do this.
Probably not.
I've met some who do, and they definitely seem very stressed. But I do really specialize in a certain technology. Like I specialize, like I'm very much so a specialist, and so it allows me to be able to copy paste a lot of my shit. So yeah, it's hit or miss. I mean, I feel trying to get like that one job to pay you more. But ultimately, their whole goal is to pay you as little as possible to get the fucking job done. So,
well, you know. Maury said, "What you special at, bruh?" Oh my god, we just started, Maury. We ain't even do the intro.
Oh, my camera's not on, so you can't see my frustration.
You can't see my frustration.
Eat the rich. This man talking about eating the rich.
I'm saying, got 3 Teslas, 5 PlayStations.
I'm trying to get 1 Tesla over here in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been looking at it and pricing shit, getting ready.
And the lead times
shit.
are crazy right now.
And I mean, if I were to order it now, I'm not getting that shit till June. So I'm
that's a fact.
And that's real frustrating. I've even looked at Carvana to get like the pre ones, like and shit like that. And I'm just like, I'm not even sure if I want to do that.
Eesh. Yeah, they keep jacking up these prices. I don't know. We'll see. And we gonna talk about your boy in a bit.
What are you talking about?
Sheesh. I don't know. Maybe that's how much he's selling the PlayStation for.
I can't. That's too rich for my blood.
Man. Like it's the seller's market right now, which is crazy because it should be a retail item.
Saying.
I tell y'all about Carl. I think I told Crescent, but I haven't told y'all. So like when I went into FedEx to ship Carl's Xbox, wholeheartedly, FedEx guy comes up. Not FedEx guy, but a guy comes into FedEx. He was just like, "I will give you $800 right here, fam. I will cash out you this right now." He showed me the Cash App and everything. He was like, "I need this for my son." He was like, please. He was begging me, and I was like, "I am so sorry. My friend already has claim on this, my boy. I cannot help you." And he was begging.
No,
man looks. I've never seen somebody look so disappointed.
It's like
because I would have wept. Holding it together. Wow. Oh my god.
That's like that movie Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger was trying to get his son that one toy. Him and Sinbad were fighting the whole movie to get their son that
son toy.
Turbo Man doll.
Yeah.
I am so glad I don't have a child old enough to like want a station yet. I mean, it's just so happy because it's hard out there for parents with teens who want to do Xbox. It's hard. Man looks so defeated. He didn't come into FedEx prepared to drop $800.
No,
but he saw what he needed, and he saw that I was shipping it, so it wasn't for me.
You was glad there's no dark alleys at the FedEx. You might have caught a blade in between your rib cage.
No bull.
I mean, it was hard. Like my like the guy that I knew at Target, because I used to work at Target before hopping into tech, and so one of my boys still works there, and he had texted me and was just like, "Do you need an Xbox?" And I was like, "I don't need one." And I was just like, "How many do you have?" And he's like, "Right now, I have 25." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll hit Carl and let him know," because I knew he was looking. And by the time I had texted Carl and Carl had gotten back to me, I think it was like maybe like an hour or something between the two. Maybe it was an hour, maybe a day. Nevertheless, I texted the man back and he goes, "We have 2 left." And I was like, "All right, cool." you put one to the side? And he's like, sure, I can. And so I was just like, I'm gonna take my ass and go real quick. Because the rules are you can put it to the side, but if a client comes in, like a customer comes in, and they're just like, I want it, that you have no other option but to give it to them.
Oh shit.
But the way they're doing it is you have to ask. You have to ask if you have an Xbox in, because they're not putting it online. Because when they put it online, people try and buy it either online or rush to the store for it. So you have to ask if it's in the back. So tip to anybody who's looking, go to a Target, ask if they have one in the back. They'll tell you the inventory. And they're getting them in for the holidays. It's just they're selling them as fast as they get delivered.
Absolutely. Oof, it's a whole bunch of people that working at Target gonna be mad as shit. Sheesh. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey. All right, man. So, thank y'all for joining us. Welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blurred Dimension here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you haven't already, turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we got new content for you. I'm Kavan, Negrito Suave. We got AJ Slinja.
What's going on, y'all? The new red square in the building.
Hey.
Really can't be though, because we already have a red square here.
No. Carl showed his face already. That's so.
You said Carl should.
Oh, thanks. I did miss that episode.
I missed it too, which is why I'm protesting as a red square now, because I missed the episode. I wasn't warned. Nobody told me.
It was, it was a surprise.
You were in the chat for the episode when he said he was going to do the face reveal. You were in the chat.
It was in the chat for the one where he said he was going to do it later. He said maybe. He's been teasing the face reveal for full on years.
I guaranteed it. You made a mistake of being out 2 weeks in a row.
I didn't make a mistake. There were extenuating circumstances. And because of that, I'm protesting by being a red square myself today, guys. So take that.
I feel like that's a nostalgia issue right there. But nonetheless, I guaranteed it, put my name on the line, and I delivered. AJ, and I'm sorry you missed it.
Damn. We got JD Creates Activity.
What's up, everybody? This is going to be the last time I do it in this room. So we're moving to the new place. This is going to be rented out by somebody. Nice family, pretty much, for the most part. Kind of, sort of. A little weird, but you know what? It's okay. I'm paying my mortgage. I don't fucking care.
Hey,
from my house.
I hope they don't watch the podcast, but I hope they do.
Hope they get to the podcast late and they don't ever watch. And they always fast forward the YouTube past the introductions.
Exactly. But I might be here, might not be here. But next time I am on for sure. It will be a new office setup. So a little bit of a smaller office space, but definitely gonna set it up a little bit better. So
nice, congrats, man.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
Got Carl XKBHX.
What's going on? Just putting a little camera. Put this camera on real quick. 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Is that a camera? Oh, you put a camera on?
Okay. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that.
Disrespect.
What's going on, guys? I apologize in advance. I'm super hungry. Kids went to bed late, so I will be eating.
You gotta live out here, man. You gotta live.
You gotta eat, man. Gotta eat.
All our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments for y'all. We're gonna talk about nerdy news and headlines. We got some decent amount of news this week. And then after news, we're gonna have a topic of the week to discuss. This week we're talking about Halo. I mean, not Halo, Xbox. I mean, Halo will be included, but it's Xbox's birthday week, and they have been having just a fantastic fucking week all around. So we're gonna get into some of that stuff. Last but certainly not least,
Xbox cloud gaming though.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We're gonna talk about what we've been consuming this week and what's good. And so that means games we've been playing, shows or movies we've been watching, comics we've been reading, all that kind of good stuff. And then after the podcast, we're gonna have a quick little break, do a switch up, and we're gonna get into after podcast gaming. I mean, Halo came out on Monday, so I mean, you already know what we're playing, but stick around for that. So let's start with a little bit of this news, man. So first up, Call of Duty we talked a little bit about them instituting this new kernel level cheat, like not cheat, but anti-cheat system. And so now they're talking about, like, if you get caught cheating, you might be banned from every Call of Duty, like past, present, future. The author of the article and my wife seem to think it's a little bit harsh. And to me, it's like, I don't know, you can't cheat on accident. Like, nigga, if you cheated, you was cheating. If your account got hacked, like, maybe they can, I don't know, have some procedures in place for that. Like, people get hacked, it happens. But like, if you just out here fucking cheating and you get caught and get banned, like, I can't feel bad for you. It would be very difficult for me to be like, wow, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, what? And my wife says that they should make a version where everybody can just cheat and play a chaotic ass game because it would be fun. And I was like, I disagree.
Hey man, that's fine with me if they want to play a chaotic version of the game where everybody's cheating and whatever. Like that's fine. Just I won't ever be there, right?
Ever.
Enjoy.
Like if they want to make a city in the United States where the purge is legal, right?
Right.
That's not my business.
I'm going night one. Let's go.
I'm not
anarchy in the streets.
You won't.
Jaleesa gonna lock your black ass up.
Stay in the clouds.
I wouldn't even look in the cardinal direction of that city during that night, right?
No,
like
keep it.
Yeah, exactly. But the people who went there, I can't say anything to them other than I hope you make it back. Like, I hope you make it home. But I can't so it'd be cool if you want to have a Call of Duty where like the best hacker is the best Call of Duty player. I think there's some cool stuff in that. There's been countless animes based on similar premises. So like, sure, let's have one of those in real life. I don't have a problem with that. But I get the banning everybody everywhere all the time, like forever, like into perpetuity and into the past. And if the whole thing loops back around, you still banned, right?
I mean, it has to be harsh, right, for them to stop fucking doing it.
Absolutely.
And they have such a problem. They're banning hundreds of thousands of people like every quarter, at least.
And let's be honest, it's really just it's not a true ban because you can't ban people from the internet, like unless you're gonna stop, unless you literally like somehow enforce like they can't use their name to like, so their credit card, they can't have their name on their credit card, like unless you make it so difficult, it's like no, like people who buy my game have to show up with a social security card and yada yada yada, so you can literally select these people out. You're not gonna ever be able to truly ban people from Call of Duty. What you're gonna do is make them have to like basically restart their entire system. Right, they're gonna have to basically factory reset their device, so that there's no code on it, and then re-download Call of Duty. And they might have to change their email address and whatever the accounts are related to, or whatever.
Well, that's like maybe an hour worth of inconvenience just for me to play again.
Right, and then they can play again if they wanted to. So it's not a true ban. Like, how are you gonna ban somebody from the internet? Like, you can't.
You really can't.
So
I mean, it's just it shows that, hey, we're doing something about the problem.
Exactly.
We hear you guys. We know there's cheaters out there. Don't leave our game. Those who are actually playing and not cheating, we're doing something. We're banning them. Look at us. Just keep spending money here. We're banning them. We're doing things.
That's it. Keep giving us your money. Okay, we're gonna take care of you. All right.
Your time and your money.
Exactly.
Don't leave because of the cheaters. That's all it is. We're doing something. We're putting them and we're banning them. Keeping the COD street safe by putting them behind digital bars.
Exactly. You got something, Carl? Or you?
I'm trying not to make too much noise with my mouth.
I got it. All good. Enjoy your meal.
I absolutely am.
So, speaking of Activision, they had a walkout this week, and their employees, like, so I guess
What happening every week now?
Is that what?
Yeah.
Somebody's walking out of some place every week. Yes,
pretty much. And I mean, it's part of a large. But let's talk about this right quick. In like bad news turned worse. That's not shocking, but still shit. So they employees online and in person protested from Activision Blizzard after there was this Wall Street Journal report that laid out the CEO Bobby Kotick like all the way out as like an active party, an accomplice, a co-conspirator for like all the bad shit that's been happening over there, like over the years, all the stuff that came out that's been happening. There was one part that I read where he had called this female employee and like threatened to kill her, and left it on her voicemail. And wow. Like they I think they settled that one out of court. And then like there was another part where
But they did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I know I threatened your life, but here's a few $1 million. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's now one of the richest people in America. Okay, quickly. That's great. She went to the 1% immediately.
She went to I sure fucking hope so. I don't remember what the amount was, but she would deserve. And there was another high-ranking male employee who was like sexually harassing somebody, and they, the board wanted to fire him, and he was like, no, like we need to keep him, and they like gave him like some sensitivity training, and they were like, all right, he won't do it again, or whatever. I don't know. It's just all bad, y'all. I feel like we need just like a monumental shift socially to root out all this stuff.
I don't know how you get there. Like, mofos are rich and white, dude. Like, what you
true. Do? I don't know, man.
I don't know how you get rid of that.
I'm at a loss.
The advantage that being rich and white provides. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's crazy. But I haven't read whether or not I haven't seen any updates on if he's gonna resign or if they're gonna like vote him out or anything like that. Like I don't think that that's gonna like magically fix it, but I think it would be a step in the right direction. It would be at least pointing in the right direction.
Like a Uber situation they did there.
Exactly. So,
do we know what percentage of the company that dude owns? The CEO?
You know what? I don't know. Let's see. Bobby Kotick, Activision, Blizzard.
Let's just give him a golden parachute and
if he owns over,
that's what's gonna happen.
If he owns over 25%, like he's not getting kicked out. Because at least another 20 to 30% are homies. And then a good chunk of the rest of the board is going to be like,
if the rest of them didn't even already like contribute, but like cup their shit, closer under buckle. He has shit on people. Yeah. And unless those people want their shit revealed, they're not going to say shit.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if
he owns like 5%, then okay. But if he's at 25% or more, he's not going anywhere. They would have to pretty much have legal charges for it to really be.
Yeah. I mean, they might have, because he was, I want to say he lied to like shareholders and investors about his involvement in everything. So they might have something. They might just have something.
I truly am starting to believe the more we see these stories, it's just impossible to be rich and a good person. Like I feel like it becomes more and more impossible.
No, I think there are plenty of
that level of
rich, good people. You're just never gonna hear about them because they're good people.
They're not doing.
Yeah, they're not doing anything to anyone. They're just being rich, like out there with money. Like it's probably not easy to be good and powerful. That's a little different, right? Because you can be rich from circumstance. You can be born rich, but power is a little bit. It's a little bit different. Morris, you could say they're complicit, but you could say that about all of us. I mean, like we could all do more, if you want to talk about being complicit, like we could all do way more. So if we're talking about actively doing bad things, there are a lot of rich people that don't actively do bad things. Not that I'm standing up for rich people because I'm not there yet, so therefore I don't care to protect them from anything. Once I get there, I will be the biggest sympathizer. But right now, yeah, I'm not saying they're great. I'm just saying we're looking at the 1% of the 1% when we look at these bad actors.
Because if they were clip being pulled back, like AJ in the future, AJ in the future is a billionaire, right? We're just gonna say for circumstance, and someone's gonna play this clip, right? It's gonna be on like Wall Street Journal, and he's gonna be like, "I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. That's a deep fake. I never said that. I've been a fan of the 1% since I was born,
since I was a wee lad."
Right. But yeah, so this is 1% of the 1% that you're seeing act up. It's kind of the same thing as like when you see any group of individuals and you're used to seeing them do bad things, you just assume that they are all like that, right? But I used to work at a golf course, so I met a few millionaires in my lifetime, right? Just because that's a millionaire sport. Mm-hmm. And there's some that are millionaires.
Millionaire sport.
They definitely do.
They really do. I don't want.
I want it to be basketball. I want it to be people at the Y worth millions. Just.
No, fuck that. I want to do a video game, man. I don't want to do physical fucking labor. I want Halo to be the new $1 million.
You said sport, not esport. I would just make it Wii. I would just make it Wii golf if we're gonna go esport. But but my point was like, so
you say we go.
We go. Then you have a caddy and everything. They hand you your Wii remote.
Oh my god.
But the what I was trying to make is like, so you meet some people, they're millionaires because they let you know, right?
Yeah.
And then there's some you never know. Somebody tells you because they're not into it. Now that doesn't make the quiet ones good because I've met some quiet ones that are also still evil.
Do some real dark shit in the dark.
But it's like once you've been around a bunch of people, you can see that like, oh, there's just some people who, power is really the more intoxicating and dangerous of the two things. Like money.
I mean, not to interrupt you. I'm gonna interrupt you, but I apologize.
But you don't mean to. I got it.
In a capitalist society, I'm remorseful. In a capitalist society, money is power, and like the more I feel like I get Tech's point because like on the one hand, I mean I hear what you're saying, and I feel like there are definitely people who have money who don't use it as power and don't like in a bad way. But also like I mean, rich people aren't human. Like we've talked about this. Like the more people use their money, and I mean it's not like I don't know, like they have opportunities are presented to them. It's like if you have this much money, it opens certain doors, and I mean
but your opportunities are not like just because you have more opportunities doesn't make you the bad guy. Now, knowing that a system is rigged and not fixing it, we can go to a philosophy class and ask, and start asking questions of whether that's evil.
Not even just that. It's like I feel like the more chances you get where you're tempted to wield that power, and it makes your life easier to do so, even if it makes it more difficult for someone else. Like I feel like people learn to do that. People learn to be.
I'm not saying it's easy to be a good rich person. What I'm saying is that, and yes, money is power, but I'm saying it is only power when applied to systems, right? Like if you just buy groceries with your money, you're not really enacting too much power unless you go out of your way to like do something crazy. Like I'm going to buy all the groceries in this grocery store so nobody can have it. But see, that's not the same as buying groceries, right? Like you buy groceries to eat. You're buying stock once you buy the whole grocery store. You're no longer buying groceries anymore. Like so, it's like if money is just used for the purpose of buying myself things, right? you probably don't. But what usually happens, right, is these people get to that level and it's never enough because it's not capitalism, it's the human condition, right? It's nothing's ever enough.
Disagree.
If you can get a little bit more, you will. Like I know that most people will settle somewhere, but that's because the tension of getting more gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and eventually you're like, this is enough. But if you were Superman, like, you don't tell me you're not going to do as much super stuff as you can. Like, you tell me you're eventually going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to see if I can fly directly into the middle of a sun. Like, I mean, I've done everything else, but I'm not going to see that. I'm not going to see if I can, shatter space-time with just by moving. Like, I'm not going to...
Why would I want to shatter space-time? AJ, that's where I live.
You get bored.
We have discovered that
just let it shake a little.
Yeah, just let it shake.
You are the perfect person to get superpowers / become rich, because you wouldn't do the shit we would do. And that's
I would not.
Yeah, and that's my point.
1% of the 1%.
That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate you as a friend for that.
But
I could use you as a moral compass.
No,
but
what we haven't seen, because this is like Lord of the Rings, what we haven't seen is we haven't put Suave in the crack in what's it called, Mount Doom or whatever. I forgot the name of the mountain.
Mordor.
Yeah, we haven't had Suave standing right there about to throw the ring into the volcano, because Frodo was that guy too until the very end when he had to throw that ring in there and he almost failed. Like, it wasn't, he didn't actually throw the ring in. If freaking Gollum hadn't jumped on him and they wrestled, he would have never gotten rid of the ring. He would have turned around, put the ring on, disappeared, and become the same thing as Gollum. Like, he would have. The temptation isn't in Suave's face. As much as I do think Suave was probably the safest person to be a millionaire in this group, right? We already know Carl's building all kinds of weapons.
Oh no.
Defense. I'm sorry, defense. Carl's building a lot of defense.
A defense force.
Capabilities. Yeah, with offensive capabilities.
Not a sword.
Yeah, shields don't fire back, Carl, but sure. So Carl's gonna build.
Tell that the shield hero.
Yeah, that's true. Tell that the shield hero. So shield hero over there is gonna be a little dangerous, right? Tech is the least trustworthy person with millions, right? And he's okay being that person. So
he's good with
that. That's both more frightening and more reassuring, because you know where the danger's coming from, right? It's also frightening because you're like, if he ever gets rich, he has the mentality to get there. So it's like, he might do something nefarious with his riches. I have no idea who I'd be. I'm not even going to cast a judgment on myself. I'm biased, right? So I don't know what Preston would do, and I don't know what JK would do. But I do agree Suave is the safest person with millions. But he hasn't had the temptation of being able to shape his world yet. That you never know what Suave would do. If you could wave your hand and have whatever you want, Suave, you never know how many times. Like, you never know how many times you'd break the law. Like, you never know how many times you never know how many times you'd break the law. Like,
I mean, the law when you're a billionaire.
What? Nothing. It's fucking nothing. There was JP Morgan executive who he flew to like Shanghai and just completely skipped. They have a very strict like 21-day quarantine in China right now. If you come from anywhere, you got to stay in a hotel for 21 days. And he was like, I'm not doing that shit. And he didn't. Like,
why does he have to?
There are no rules. Like, if you have enough money, there are no rules. No matter where you go.
It's the fuck you money principle. Like, it literally is. Like, I mean,
it's an international thing. China would have done something to a financial executive of an institution like that.
And he knows that, which is why he played that card.
Exactly. Like, but they don't care. Speaking of rich people who do whatever the fuck they want with their money.
Speaking of rich people, and I mean,
Elon
we'll put a pin in that.
Trolling Bernie.
Always.
He trolling the fuck out of everybody. You want me to sell more stocks? Huh?
Yeah.
You want me to sell more?
Yeah. I need him to stop because my
right
Tesla shares are going down in value because he's being reckless on Twitter. Like that
crazy.
I don't appreciate that.
Man gets so much fucking money.
I lost a few $100s over the past couple
everyone's
of weeks. Everyone's
wallet. It's aspiration, son. Like,
you gotta play the long game.
I gotta get there. Like, oh, I mean,
it means it's on sale.
Did the stock go down by a couple $100 billies? Oh, you're mad? Let me get on this tweet storm again.
Facts.
No problems.
Look,
not concerned about their few dollars.
Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
No. So here's
price is $1,000 a share. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's crazy. The director of the United Nations World Food Program was on like CNN or something. He was doing a little interview, and he was like, "Listen, y'all got all this fucking money. All we need is like $6 billion. We could save 42 million people. These people are going to die of starvation if someone doesn't do something." And so Elon was like, he's like, he went on Twitter, I think, and he was like, show me the plan, open your books. Like, I'll sell the stock to do it right now. I'll do it right now. And the director was like, say less, my guy. He tweeted him a link to like a summary. 1,000 words is not exactly a summary, but okay. Yeah, and like,
it's not that bad.
He was like
10 pages. It might be 1,000 words. What, 500? No, it's like 2 pages. 500 words a page.
Maybe.
It's like 2 pages.
Double space out here.
If you double space, it's 4 pages. Okay.
Double space, yeah. Just detailing like, okay, it was like $6.6 billion. And he was like, this is where all this money would go. And like, this is, for like administration, accountability, whatever. And so, I mean, Elon hasn't said anything yet. Like maybe he's working with his accountants right now, trying to make it happen. Who knows?
And he realized he called his bluff, and he's like, "Oh shoot!"
Well,
I'm just gonna stay on Twitter for a couple seconds.
It wasn't his bluff. The quote was, "Prove to me that you can cure world hunger with $6 billion." Then the director gentleman was like, "See, I didn't mean world hunger. Okay, not world hunger. We can help this 42 some odd million people."
Yeah.
And so Elon threw something out, pride, being Elon. That's not what the dude said. So he said he would do it right now if it was world hunger.
I mean, it is people all over the
42 million lives. We'll see.
But the funny thing is, right? So it's it's what, 42 million people for $6.6 million, right? So how many people are hungry in the world? Like, what percentage of the world is hungry? Because you can do the math right now and find out how many billions it would take, like a rough estimate of how many billions it would take to feed them all. Then, if you can feed 42 million people off $6.6 billion, right? Then that means there's a real number, and I'm sure it doesn't eclipse Elon Musk's net worth right now.
It does not. I'm gonna share this website. I gotta find it again, where they like show you how much money billionaires have, and they're like, you could solve world hunger with this much. You could house everybody with this much. You could, like, a doctor in their lifetime makes this much, and it's like, you could solve all the world's ills with like 10% of like the 1%'s wealth, and they would still be ridiculous, like more money than they could spend in like 100 lifetimes. And I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna share it with y'all. But
it's a real number, and it is very possible. But the problem is, what are you doing to the world if you do that? Right?
What are you doing to the world?
I know this sounds super villainish, like I'm taking a page from textbook.
Incredibly.
Just listen, just follow me. This is a complex issue, and there's layers to it. So what I'm saying is, if you cure all of poverty and world hunger, what happens to the world after that? What do you think happens? Because most people, I doubt there's peace. I think there's more war, first of all, right? Like, hungry people don't fight wars really often because they're not strong enough. But like, if you want to talk about like where the world's gonna go, I suspect that it's going to revert back to what it is now eventually. Anyway, like, the solution isn't billionaires give up your money, really, because it's not. Because the truth is, their money only means something because we say it does. right? Most of their money is not liquid. They're not living on. They're not sitting on a mountain of gold, right?
No, they're not. And that's true.
And even if they were, gold is given its value by people, right?
Okay.
Like you can only build so many circuits with it. Most of gold is used. Well, I don't know how much gold is used for jewelry versus how much of it is used for better purposes. But I know that what made gold popular back in the day was it's for fashion or just for a wealth symbol or status. So it's like a lot of the stuff that can be fixed by us. Like the $1 billion only means something because we're buying into a system of capitalism. But that system's not going to go away if everybody has money. What's going to happen is so eventually the money's going to find its way back to another person because we're still trading it, which means somebody can still acquire more than others. So the only way is to say that we don't. How would you stop money from accruing in one place? If you distribute, say right now, somebody said, all right, pause, and they reset it. Like I don't know if you've ever played any sports games, but there's like a fantasy draft. You can just draft. You can just take the rosters and just redraft. You can get LeBron and Steph on the same team if you're good enough, right? But like, so say we're doing that. We're like, let's reset, and somebody's like, you know what? Everybody gets an equal share of the pot.
Sure.
How do you trade now?
I mean, you can still trade. I mean, it depends. Like if we're talking about in a different system, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. But if we're talking about under capitalism, essentially, and there's money is still money, gold is still gold, whatever. You like, I feel like for one thing, like, so Maurice was saying, there's no ethical way to become that rich. The way you're doing that is wage theft, like squeezing up, essentially squeezing the people at the bottom for like everything you can, paying them as little as possible while extracting as much as possible. And oh shit, I forgot the other thing I was gonna say. But essentially, if we like reset it, made it all equal, like you're saying, and then I mean we would have to do more stuff, like put systems in place such that people are being paid fairly, such that people aren't being taken advantage of, such that.
But how do you get workers? If the guy who was working for you is now as rich as you, they're not gonna work for you. I'm not showing back.
They don't have to work for you, nigga. Y'all can work together and do the same shit.
Okay, that implies some kind of cultural change that you can't make. Money can't make. That's my point.
I mean, no, money can't make it, but like money can make your life materially better, like such that you can worry about and think like such you can think about other shit than surviving. Like if you're worried about survival, like that's
still cultural though, is my point.
Like, I mean, I agree
because
I agree, but materially you don't have, if you don't have what you need, you're not worried about. I mean, not like you're not worried about, like people are aware of it, people are concerned when they're, when they're poor, but like what can you do if materially you have to work a job, 2 jobs, a job and go to school, like just to try and improve your condition, then like money would instantly relieve all of that so that you can do other stuff.
So that's what we're looking at here is we're looking at people who we can see that are poor, right? Like we can say, okay,
what do you mean?
These people like and people in America, we're looking at like, homeless people, and we're saying, okay, these people, all they
not
need
just
is an
homeless
opportunity.
People, working poor, like
right.
Everybody.
Well, okay, you're right. So there's a large group of people who could benefit from more material stuff.
For sure.
But the problem is material stuff doesn't grow on trees, even though it does, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like food grows on trees, but somebody has to plant and tend that tree. Somebody has to go pick the fruit or the whatever from the tree. Somebody has to like all that work needs to get done. There's no way to delegate that outside of capitalism without a cultural change.
Oh, without a cultural change, for sure.
Yeah, right. But the cultural change has nothing to do with money. So you can never get people have to buy into a system in order for this to work. They have to all decide, I don't want to be better than anyone. And I don't know how you can
all decide.
Okay, the majority has to decide. I don't want to be better than anyone.
You in prison or oh my god!
Like, but how else would it work?
I mean, I feel like there are definitely some people who would be unsavable. I can't think of the word, but people who would not come back from where they are and get on the boat. Taxes also, yes.
Who regulates the taxes? Like all of this
the government. The government is supposed to be run by people, not by like lobbies and like billionaire kings and shit. Like
how would it work?
How would it? That's what I'm saying.
Communally. Ideally, it would work. Like people, I know a bunch of people who would do stuff that pays shit if they didn't have bills. I know therapists who would work for free if they didn't have bills. Like people would go do the stuff they actually want to do, and those things would benefit everybody.
So I don't doubt that. The problem is I don't know how you sustain that system without a super majority buy-in, because the people that don't buy into that would have to be eliminated or imprisoned or somehow not be a weight on the system to make it not sustainable. So
say that one more time.
So what you were saying about individuals that would choose to do whatever task if money didn't have to be concerned about that, I totally understand, believe that, right? I would write code. I write code in my spare time. I'm not getting paid for it. I like doing it, right? So I'm with that. But for such a system to be sustainable that I could tell, you'd have to have a super majority of buy-in globally, right? Not 60%, not 70%, somewhere in like the 98 percentile of area where that many people are buying in, and the rest you have to deal with them somehow, whether elimination, get creative,
exile,
imprisonment, but without super high percentage of buy-in, I don't know how you would sustain a system where no matter your effort, right? Because effort now is kind of a subjective thing. The value that you bring to society is kind of a subjective thing. So with people with different perceptions on what value you're doing for your job, and everybody's just happy getting compensated to the same level, that would, I think, require like a very high buy-in to sustain that.
I don't disagree with you that it would require a lot of buy-in. Oh damn, there was something else you said that I was like, I don't know if that's quite right. But so one of my turns in the chat brings up a good point. If you can't, seismic shift in global cultures, absolutely. If you can't acquire laborers without offering them wealth, your project lacks the natural support of the community. Life essential projects should never have a problem acquiring community support. And I think that's a good point.
And I think the operative word there
should. That's what I said. Thing. I said what it should mean. Like, you're right. Should
okay, hold on. Wait. The other thing was that effort. You're saying your effort is subjective. And I mean, I feel like the way we look at effort and productivity under capitalism, it wouldn't look like the way we value the things you bring to society would be totally different. It wouldn't be about like, I don't know how to explain it. I think
I'm
having trouble finding my words, but I have some other resources.
To me, unless everybody's doing the exact same thing for the exact length of time across the board, means that there's different types of work that needs to be evaluated as equivalent. And I don't
think it needs to be equivalent. I think it needs to be equitable. I don't think that, somebody should be.
So the reason I use equivalent is because we're dealing with human beings, if I feel like hey, there's a few people here that's doing less than me, they're not carrying their weight, but I'm getting compensated to the same degree, that's gonna cause a little I'm gonna feel some type of way about it. If enough people feel that way one way or the other, that's what makes the system unstable, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I mean, discontent, I mean, like, that's human, but like, I don't
exactly.
I think that it, like we started with, it requires a cultural shift. And I think in that cultural shift would be, I mean, like equity, like the idea is that equal, like, stuff is not going to be equal. Like if for example, Carl, you decided that, you know, in this new society, you know, you don't want to code no more. You want to, you know, pick apples and or harvest like grapes or something, and you know, you're out there in the sun 5 or 4, you know, let's say 4 days a week. Like your effort is something that is unique to you because like you're an able-bodied person of a certain age who can do this. Somebody in a wheelchair might not be able to do that same work, or somebody, you know, who doesn't have any arms or doesn't have like 5 fingers. Like, people will contribute what they can contribute, and it will be valued in an equitable way. And that's the part I feel like that's the part of the cultural shift that y'all are not missing, but
no, that's exactly what I said. I said literally you'd have to get people to believe that other people's work is of value in a way that like equals their own, right? Like they have to, but the problem is it's almost impossible to get a person to not see that. Like you see this in kids, right? You have 2 kids, right? And you give them 2 chores, right? The kids immediately start weighing the chores. Like, are you giving me like
but that's a teaching moment right there. That's a teaching moment where you explain.
But you can explain it to them, but you can't make them feel it. All you can do is tell them what they should feel, but you can't make them feel it.
You wouldn't even tell them. You wouldn't even tell them what they should feel. Like, okay. And that's what I'm saying when I'm saying you're kind of missing it. Like, you don't tell them what they should feel. You explain like why it's this way. Like, you're doing this chore because you're this big, you're this capable.
Right. Like, but let's say that okay, you're this big, you're this capable. What you've now done is you said, okay, because of how you're born, you have to work harder than this person.
Nobody's saying you have to work hard. I mean, well,
no, but you are working harder. You're burning more calories than this person because you're strong, right? Like, so say like, it's like, oh, you're the tall person, so you got to reach up and grab everything. Like, if your back hurts, I don't care. You're the tall person.
I mean, well, if your back hurts, then that's different. Like, you would take those kinds of things into consideration.
But your back will eventually hurt as you do these jobs. Like, people are going to break down because that's just humans, right? So what I'm saying is what I'm saying is why, while what you're saying is very true, right? This is we're literally inventing communism right now, which is crazy. That's what we're inventing, right? It's already been done. I'm
okay with that.
And it failed because people don't feel like they're being valued for their efforts. I do more than him, but we get the same thing. Okay, you don't have to call it communism, but that is exactly what the Communist Manifesto speaks of. This similar idea. It might not be exact, right? Like, because we do learn from our mistakes in the past, right?
Is different from philosophy. So philosophically, it's communism. You know, various implementations of communism will vary from that.
Right. And so what I'm saying is I don't disagree with your idea. What I'm saying is I can't see a way where that's practically applied. Like, I can't see a way where you can change people's minds from this culture. Like, if machines did all the work, everything that we needed, all the farming, all of the building, if machines did all the work, if technology was applied this way, right? Your philosophy is a lot closer, because now all of the stuff that would stress people out is being handled by machines. It's being handled by something else. So if machines did it, yes, I agree with you. This is way closer if machines do it. But the problem is the people who have the knowledge to build the machines live in a capitalist society because innovation is much faster there, because the rewards for being successful or being good at something are much higher in a capitalistic society than just saying, "Oh, do what your heart tells you to do."
I disagree. So hold on. So you said that the rewards are much higher, and you said something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, changing human nature. Or not changing human nature. I feel like that is that's a limitation of your imagination. I don't know what to tell you about that. Like people can change. You teach your kids, like just like white people teach their kids to be racist, they can teach them not to be, and it would be different if every white person today who had babies from this point on actively taught their children to be anti-racist, anti-bigot. They wouldn't be. We would eliminate racism. People can learn it, but like the way society as it is, society actively incentivizes the power structures that are in place. People who are white, who are male, who have money start at the top, and society actively incentivizes them to oppress everybody else so they can stay at the top. And so and then the other thing, it was another thing. And you were saying
human nature. I was saying the culture. I think that's where you were going next, because you're saying incentivize, and I was also saying that. What was I saying? This is, like I said, this is a very layered thing. Like
capitalism. Hold on, real quick. Capitalism rewards people better for being inventive. If that were true, black people would rule the fucking world. That is not true. And like I hear what you're saying. Just not black people alone, but
we're capitalistic. We're the fuel. We're not the innovator. I mean, we innovate, but we don't get the opportunity to own our inventions. So yes, we
do innovate, and like capitalism does not reward us.
It doesn't reward us because we're actually not playing in the game. We're not playing in the game. So we innovate, and then they're the players. We innovate. We're their inspiration. That's what we end up being.
We're the automatons in the game.
Right. They see the cotton gin and they're like, oh man, I can make a lot of money off of this little filter that this guy made. I'm gonna make the cotton gin, right? Like, but that slave was not in the game. He couldn't have sold that. Like that's that. I mean, I don't think that's an equivalent comparison. What I'm saying is,
like, to me also, like, we're not in a perfectly capitalistic society anyway, nor could it be, because again, humans are involved. Like, if it was completely capitalistic, you can't have any socialism, whether it benefits poor people or rich people. So all the real social benefits super rich people and companies, right? They get the most tax breaks. The little sprinkles you get for Medicaid and food stamps
that ain't shit compared to the kind of breaks they get.
The multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks that the petroleum industry gets on an annualized basis, right? Like,
agreed.
Multiple 100%. Trillions of dollars there. So we're not in a perfect capitalistic system. And to AJ's point, not everybody's playing in the game. Like you don't get at the table just for being a human, even though you should. You definitely don't. Like,
word.
If you're in Indonesia and you're in, let's say, a rural area, and it's less likely that you own a business. To be like, if you don't own a business, period, like, you're not really in the game. You could even be rich and not be in a capitalistic game, like athletes.
I mean, word.
Yeah. So
I guess. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go. It's fine.
Oh shit! What was I gonna say? But I forgot. It's gone. It's fucking gone. Oh, yes, about rewarding people. One of my turns says capitalism rewards people for being able to consolidate wealth. Exactly. Innovation can feed that, but it can't do that without extraction of labor from others. Well, fucking said. Oh my god. But yeah. So Samson said it much better than I managed to.
But I never disagree with that. I never disagree with any of your points. I'm saying, I know you're saying it's my lack of imagination.
I'm not saying you disagree, but
yeah, but you're saying it's my lack of imagination about human nature. But what I'm saying is I have literally 300,000 years of human nature to back up my claims. And you're saying that humans are going to make this right turn into a utopia, which I just don't believe is possible. I believe the only thing we can do is mitigate as much. No, that's what I'm saying, though. But what you're describing is a utopia where people are helping each other, doing the right thing and not doing the wrong thing, not taking advantage when they have the opportunity to take advantage. Like, how many right moves does somebody have to make in order for the system to work? I know you're saying it doesn't have to be a utopia, but it's what you're describing. Like, it is what you're describing, because the way you speak of it is as if like somehow people are going to do what they're supposed to do, even if they're put out more than someone else, just because they can't.
It's like not that somehow it's incentivization. It is.
But you can't incentivize me. There's no incentives anymore.
That's not true. Is just because you can't imagine an incentive that's not money doesn't mean there are no incentives.
It's not that I can't imagine an incentive that's not money. I know plenty of things that incentivize me better than money. I know that. But what I'm saying is that those things, once they become an incentive, become the new thing you trade for. It becomes a new thing that you trade.
You don't. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, but I'm saying it does. That's nature. That's not just me. That's literally physics, right? It's a trade. It is never even, right? It's not. It's a trade. It's even in the fact that one thing gives to another thing. Like, that's nature. That's not me saying, oh, this is, like if let's just think about hot and cold. Yeah, thermodynamics, hot and cold. We're looking here, like, you can't make cold without hot, and you can't make hot without it's just the trading of heat from one to another. So to say that there's no trading would be to say that we're living in a different reality.
No trading. I'm saying that you can trade like goods, services for some kind of currency and it not be capitalism. I'm saying you can trade for goods and services and, things be more equitable. I'm saying that people can do jobs that they are capable of doing and, maybe hate a little bit less and it be better than what we have right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that people can care about each other and not, just be seeing who can like fuck over people the most because it gives them a massive, leg up, like in business or in wealth or in, status, and it would be better than what we have. That is what I'm saying. That's it. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. There's no way it's going to be perfect. People are going to be involved. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. What I'm saying is it can be more equitable and it can be better. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I guess what I have a hard time seeing is how do you scale that to the globe? And how does it sustain more than, a few years? Because you would need, again, substantial buy-in from a large percentage of all humans on the planet.
Sorry, go ahead.
And this is the way that I could see it working well. You subdivide the entire world into very small communities, and you never let them grow larger than a certain size. Because then once you do that, they're dependent on each other, and then they don't grow to that size. Like, if you keep the world small and segregated into small communities, I think this is very possible. Once you get to build to millions of people living in one place, that's when the issue breaks down. And so what I'm saying is, like, if you're thinking that the world can just work this way based on people being incentivized differently, I think the incentive, then yeah, maybe. But for me, it's about having less opportunities to make mistakes. If you're in a small civilizations worked, or not small civilizations, but small towns, they usually, worked well because everybody was trying to keep themselves alive, right? Like, everybody was trying to, like, everybody had a job to help save the small community. And because every person was important, you didn't readily throw them away. You made sure they had food. You made sure they had water. Like, that makes sense to me. But to say that like a city like New York or that a state like Florida, right? Like, or any other state. I know y'all hate Florida, so we can pick any other state you want with enough people in it, right?
Except Georgia, because then.
Oh, well, yeah, we just drop the whole bottom part of the South off, or top part. I don't care. But so picking any large group of people and expecting them to somehow be able to. This is not a beehive. This isn't an ant colony where their only goal is survival. Like, there is no dreams in an ant colony. You don't see an ant out there by himself painting something, right? He's got no time. And the male bees are literal drones. Like, they're not even born from reproduction. They're literally just like the queen just makes male bees. She just makes them, right? Like, they're literal drones. Like, now it works. You got these literal drones. They're born just to work the hive. They don't ever even leave the hive. Male bees never leave the hive. That's not their job. Any bee you see out there getting nectar, that's a female bee, because that's the way bee hives work. You don't see no male bee out there like, hey, I want to be one of them nectar collectors. Sorry, son. You're gonna be in here picking up larvae, moving it from one spot to the next. That's your job. So yes, if you want to, there's several ways to do it. There's several ways to do it. But I'm saying, can you get people to do that? And I think you can do it in small groups, because you need each other to survive. But I don't think large groups of people can ever do it. So I don't think a large world community can ever do it.
What is the world except small communities? Like,
it's not small communities. We're more connected now than we ever been.
Real issue. Like,
you said what?
So division of labor. So
I disagree. And here's why. I'm a like laziness and like they're doing more, like the idea that it is upsetting for like you to be doing this and some, like, all of that stuff is a product of fucking capitalism. Like, laziness is not, if somebody is not doing something, there's probably a reason. And just because you don't know that reason, you don't understand that reason, doesn't mean it's not like a valid reason. And so I think that if we
can't agree with that at all.
If we shifted, you said what?
I said I can't agree with that at all. But continue.
You said I can't. I understand.
Not at all.
I understand. I understand. It's a hard thing to think outside of.
The you can't agree with the fact that laziness can't be a thing, or the fact that there's a reason behind the laziness.
I can't agree with. It seems like you could basically say, okay, there's a valid reason, because there's always a reason behind laziness. Like, everything has a reason. So I'm not saying that there's no reason behind it. Is it valid and constructive to the society that we're in just because they have a reason? I don't think so. I think if you look at, and I look at children for this, if you look at humans, they'll get away with what you let them get away with, right? And you learn how to live in a society from being taught that, right? I think it's more nurture than nature. I think there is nature involved in everybody, but I think it's more nurture than nature. I lean more to nurture. So I do think that, okay, you can try to build a society to do these things, but the way humans work, it's the reason we're so innovative, is you find the easiest solution to a problem. Like, that's where our brains work. Like, we're constantly looking for shortcuts. Like, we're constantly, how can I store food? Oh, shoot, I'll make it cold, keep it cold, it lasts longer. Now I can store food, right? Like, those ideas are for, like, that's how our brains work. So that being turned in any direction, when that's turned in the right direction, good things happen. But who's turning it in the right direction? And how are you constantly going to monitor that without police state, without computer chips in my skull, without like how are you going to make me not find a way to get out of doing work when I don't feel like doing work?
You don't have to monitor it. Like, you don't have to monitor it. Like, we've been talking about this for a minute, so
yeah, my bad.
We'll put a pin in it, but
this is something I'm very interested in. So my bad. I know I
no, all good. Like, same, big same. But yeah, so that's that's our take on Elon Musk trying to decide if he's gonna solve world hunger or not. Next up we got so the Game Awards. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Real fast.
What do you think?
I think there was an episode a while back before his show got canceled, and I'm fucking forgetting his name. God damn it. He had a show on Netflix where it was like a new show similar to like this week tonight with what's his face, or similar to like the Daily Show. He came from the Daily Show.
Oh, you're talking about Patriot Act.
Yeah, Patriot Act, right?
Hassan Minhaj
with Hassan Minhaj.
Yeah. Yes, and he had a great episode before Netflix separated or whatever, called "Billionaires Aren't Going to Solve Your Problems," and I think his point was very valid that to them, and it's still fucking insane that they own 98% of most of the capital in the world, right? And I do believe that percentage should be and needs to be, switched through. But ultimately, I just think it's to a point where they are removed from the problems that we faced because they have reached this wealth gap. So we can't rely on them to solve our problems. Like asking Elon Musk and stuff like that, like that's great. But to him, he's never hungry. And no one around him is hungry. His children will never be hungry. His children's children, their children's children will never be hungry. It's just, yeah. It's waiting on them to give money for the project and stuff like that. It's you'll be waiting until your face turns blue. Ultimately, they just don't care. I mean, there are some that put up a good face, Bill Gates and their projects and things like that. It's all nice and dandy, but ultimately, they didn't make money to solve the world's problems.
No, they didn't. Yeah. And I mean, I don't think anybody is. Well, this one guy asked, pretty nicely, I would say. But I don't think anybody's necessarily waiting. But I don't disagree with that because if left to them, like, why would they change anything? Their lives are great.
Fine, they're fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, the Game Awards did not. Okay, so I want to say in like the last 2 years, definitely for me, the Game Awards have come into like a sharp focus as like, industry standard awards program, like production value, like leaning toward other like award shows for entertainment industries. And like, that's all fine and good. That's great. Visibility is good for the gaming industry. Like in order to make, like your cult classics and experiment with niche shit, like you have to have money and buy-in from just more than like a hardcore like group of fans. We need mass adoption and we're getting that. But this year Xbox released a visual masterpiece in Forza Horizon 5, and they're not even being considered for Game of the Year. And like we've talked about this at least once about how like critics aren't really in touch with what regular gamers like and enjoy and want. And so I have to wonder, like, who's making these decisions? I don't know. What do y'all think about them not
people that look like us?
There's money behind it. There's money behind it. So follow the money. You'll find out who's making these decisions.
Just like with any award show, right? Like,
exactly.
There is money behind it. There are people you can hire to make it more likely for you to win that award. I forget who I was watching. I think it was
That's
like
crazy.
Mila Kunis or something
people
like
you
that.
Can hire?
She was breaking it down on some show. She was just like, yeah, like there's people that they'll work with you. Like, same thing with getting elected, right? There are people that are like that just know how to
Kingmakers.
The system. Yeah, kingmakers. Kingmakers, award makers. Yeah. They can literally just get you. Get you fucking to win the award. It's what they do. They'll have you at the right places. They'll have they'll help you, meet the right people who are in touch with the awards, help you campaign correctly. It's, just crazy.
That's crazy.
If there was no art to the award, it would be much easier. Like if it was just based on metrics. The problem is because and this is a slight tangent as well, so forgive me, but like Rotten Tomatoes, right? They have critics who watch a movie and give their opinion, and they also let the audience do an audience score as well. But I think that that didn't start on the site. It was just the critics' opinion. I think they added the audience score because they probably got a lot of feedback, and they was like, no, we love this movie, or I love this movie. They got so much, they're like, okay, maybe the critics just didn't love it. So I remember looking at a movie that was basically about a bunch of minorities, And then I looked at the Rotten Tomato score and I was like, oh shoot, it's terrible. I love this movie. Why do I love this movie if it's so bad? Then I decided to look at all the critics. Every name was European or like, you know, Eastern or Western European, like, but it was European. Like it was just Europe. Like that's where so I was like, oh, they didn't see themselves in this movie because there were no white people in this movie. So zero. And I didn't realize there were no white people in this movie until I read the names of the critics. And then I looked back at the cast and I was like, black, Mexican, black, Mexican, black, Hispanic. Okay. The entire cast is you know, got some brown tones. And now you don't find the jokes as funny. And I'm like, oh, because culturally you have no idea what these jokes are. So it's not as funny to you as it is to me. It's not as so a lot of times, like, who are your critics, right? Who are they? What are their, like, there's not enough diversity in the critics to really judge everything. Or they're also, they might just not like racing games. Like, who cares how beautiful it looks? I would never vote for Forza Horizon. I don't like racing games. I would pick Nickelodeon All-Stars before I pick Forza Horizon. Because I hate racing games.
I mean, I agree. It is a beautiful game, but is it like does it have a hype around it? Like, it doesn't have the player base. Like, it's just it's beautiful.
Well, it's not on PlayStation, so you know it can't have that much hype on it.
Oh, terrible. So what do y'all have on your, like, game of the year short list? Top 3, top 2. Yeah.
I would say.
Oh, hold on, real quick. And how the fuck is Cyberpunk?
Hype.
How did they get nominated?
Hype.
What is good? Tell me the good parts.
What's good? It's hype.
My god!
People
don't deserve
it. Your story more than they love a success story.
The shooting was bad. The story was bad. It was all bad. It was literally all bad.
So maybe this is one of those things where, like, you multiply one negative by another negative, you get a positive number. And maybe they just had an even amount of negatives about their game and made the whole game good.
If it's the only thing you played, gotta vote for it. All right, so my bad. Back to your game of the year short list.
What I'll say for sure.
What?
So what I'll say for sure, and I'll exclude BRs because normally y'all know all I fucking play release Apex. I mean, now Halo Infinite. Well, I wouldn't even say a game of the year, but game that I most enjoyed surprisingly would be Splitgate this year. It was one of those games where it would never have come on my radar, you know. I would say ever since day one of picking up Splitgate, it's always been a smooth and enjoyable play. So that's what I would pick. Outside of that, Killer Queen Black was also pretty dope. I'm not sure if that came out this year or not, but I've really enjoyed that. Even if I can't, you know, shoot people all the time, but, you know, I enjoyed the play.
Shoot people every once in a while. It's a good game. Carl, what you got?
Halo.
I mean, I'm truly not qualified to answer this question.
Halo.
It would be Halo 5 from 6 years ago, whenever it came out. That's the game of the year.
That's his game of the year for the past 6 years.
Oh god!
Technically, Infinite came out in 2021, so I mean, now that's
there. You go, game of the year.
It hasn't been out long enough for me to elevate quite yet. Even though now that I'm, you know, Series X owner, thanks. Infinite has a whole new vibe to it. After playing the beta, it's a whole different game on the Series X.
Absolutely,
juicy, but still, yeah, I would just be pulling stuff out. I keep it simple on the game in front. Halo, maybe a soccer game like a FIFA. I'll play some Forza once in a while, but really, Halo. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
AJ, you played anything good?
I would also have to recuse myself. I do not play enough games to pick Game of the Year.
This is the only topic.
None of them.
But we need Preston for this shit.
Yeah, this is
JK.
Preston's.
Yeah, JK and Preston are the diverse gamers of our bunch here. They be picking up shit that just be random.
As fuck.
As fuck.
I have played. I mean, I tried a couple things. I played Blood Roots. Crescent recommended that. It was pretty good. I don't know if Game of the Year good, but I had fun with it. And then I tried the Ascent, not Game of the Year worthy. But I did play It Takes Two, and I think I told y'all about this before. That shit was fantastic. If you like platformers, it's on Game Pass. You have no excuse. You do have to have 2 people, but it's a great fucking game. The platforming is excellent, like bar none. That would be like top of the top, and they are nominated, which is great. But yeah, that would be my pick. I don't think I played anything else that would have been like up there, like Halo, MCC. That's not gonna.
I would not put MC up there. MCC up there.
No.
So it wasn't Game of the Year. It wasn't Game of the Year. The year it was made because the year it was made, no one could play it.
You guys forgot.
I guess
Avengers.
Oh yeah,
Avengers was
Game of the Year.
Yikes.
Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah. Right up there with Cyberpunk. You said what, Carl?
Wish I knew what that game was. Never got into it.
You know.
Well, now you can play it on the cloud. Carl. You can literally just launch it right now without having to waste space. You can just play it on the cloud.
Listen. They want an account out of me, and it's not happening.
That's fair.
Facts.
Oh, actually, Scarlet Nexus. Was
you played that?
That's one of the game. I did play that game. Well, actively playing it. I would say that's also been pretty dope. Like, it's just as far as like, fighting mechanisms and then just visuals were really stunning. And also anime is fucking dope. So
I haven't watched the anime either. I played the trial and I meant to circle back when it came out.
Loud. Motherfucker played Cloud. Just boot right into that.
Facts. And then I don't even have to. I might have it installed already, but yeah. So cool. All right.
Delete everything that's already in the cloud. That's what I did.
Delete everything.
I deleted everything. Like, I had Rainbow Six downloaded because I play with my brothers occasionally, but Rainbow Six Siege is now cloud. Every fucking thing is cloud. I'm wondering when they're gonna make Forza cloud, or if I should just download this shit. But Wreckfest is also cloud now, so we can hop into that shit whenever. But
true shit.
Like,
I'm gonna go ahead and download that Forza though. That thing is A1.
How many gigs is that? I forgot.
101.
Well, we don't have to talk about how many gigs it is. We can just,
It comes with all that beauty. That's why it's so many gigs.
Exactly.
No. How many gigs is that, guys? Because my expanded hard drive is nearly full, and my hard drive is full.
Well, see, you just need to
AJ, you don't even play games like that. How is it full?
Exactly.
I collect games, guys. I'm a collector of things, of beautiful things.
You collect software licenses. You need room for Forza.
Look, I don't know which software license to give up to put Forza on my Xbox, so that's the problem.
Like, complete side question.
When you have so many, what do you do?
I don't know. You make good points. I definitely have stuff on there that I haven't deleted. What's up, Tech? What's the side question?
Well, if they make other games that aren't in Game Pass cloud eligible, like, the fuck is the thing for this?
That's a good question. I want to say maybe in the future.
I mean, mostly everything just comes with fucking Game Pass that's worth playing. Which at this point, like, if you're a company, you're not releasing your game on Game Pass, obviously you just don't want a player base. That's my opinion.
Yeah. That's easy money. I mean, I don't know how you get paid, but that's an easy way to get people to try your game. Like, I wouldn't have even played It Takes Two if they didn't have, it wasn't on Game Pass, but they had like a free trial. You got to play like the first 2 bosses. If it wasn't for that let me try it before, I wouldn't have looked twice at it. That's and fair. So like Game Pass gives you that, but built in, like you don't have to build a separate client. You said what?
You don't even have to keep it on there all the time, right? You could just be like, okay, keep it on there for like a month or two to let people see what it is, remove it, and then if you want to get like
an exposure,
the regular revenue. But like they let you do all kinds of things with it, so I don't know why you would never like put it there at least for a little bit.
Yeah, or just permanently, because yeah.
I mean, because you can.
Because you can.
As long as Halo's on there, I mean, I'm good.
That's all you need right there. That's all you need.
Halo's you have to play other things, my friend.
No, you don't.
You have this powerful, beautiful new system. It's begging you to try other things.
I will play if they come out with another well done Guitar Hero. And I just know that's gonna push the Series X to its limit. I know it.
Absolutely. Guitar Hero.
Of course.
This motherfucker just said Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero will take up 2 gigs on your Xbox.
Guitar Hero.
You can make Guitar Hero with JavaScript right now in the browser.
Right now, right here.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, this is the limit of compute capability. To get Guitar Hero.
Right, Guitar Hero is gonna maximize.
I don't think there will never be a day again, unless it's like some throwback bullshit they try to play. There'll be a Guitar Hero on the shelf.
Look, I think I tried recently to find Guitar Hero 2. I that's my favorite one. If Guitar Hero 2 is out there, and I could also get the guitar controller.
I can get you a guitar controller. I'll go check my my local Goodwill electronics store. That's where I get all my old games.
AJ, make it happen.
I was born there anyway, so I'll go there now and I'll look for Guitar Hero 2, and I'll pick you up a little guitar too, man. I got you.
All right, change the whole complexion of Thanksgiving. Messing around.
Oh my!
Especially
we need to get the killing on.
Get like 2. I could cash app you. You get like 2.
No, man, I'll get you. I'll go. I'm going tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow at lunch because I was already gonna go. I wanna I'm trying to do like this. I'm playing around with the Wii Fit, right? But I need better controllers because my controllers are like 2 decades old. So
and we know how you do with controllers.
Hey. You don't know anything, sir. You know what I tell you. That doesn't always have to be the truth. Some things are for comedic effect.
Right. Totally. I understand. We ain't even got to talk about that no more. So,
no. What's the next topic?
So, Elder Scrolls 6 is, basically it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. They talked to Phil Spencer about it. He was like, it's not about punishing other platforms, but it's like it's just offering more with Xbox. With the Xbox platform than you can get elsewhere, and that extends like beyond Elder Scrolls 6 to services like cloud gaming, Game Pass. They said Xbox Live services, but it's like nigga, that we've been had that.
That statement is like saying, "I'm not punching you in the face. You're hitting your face against my fist." I'm saying this isn't about punishing other platforms. No, it absolutely is. We just had a whole capitalism debate. This is absolutely about punishing other platforms. You want to make your platform shinier than their platform. You got to punish them.
I don't think it's a dichotomy like that, AJ.
Is the point. He's saying stop hitting your face against my fist, PlayStation. That's what he said.
So I'm a big proponent of owning systems, every ecosystem. I'm not a console warrior, but with that being said, I like personally, Sony people who only want to own a PlayStation 5 have been ranting about how there's no games on Xbox, or there's none that they can't also play, bullshit. Or that the games that are there are terrible, and about all these grand exclusives that Sony offers them that make it a better platform for like I don't know, at least 2 generations, I'll say. I mean, so they get what they get, but I think if it wasn't for that, it probably ES6 would not be an exclusive necessarily. But I mean, when niggas' main argument is like, this is better because we have these big cinematic games, then like, what can you do except keep your shit to yourself?
Right. They're saying you're not winning this fight because you're not punching enough. Start punching. That's what he did.
Oh my god.
That's what he said. I mean, he said it's not about punishing, but what are you doing? If you're saying you can't play this unless you come over here, you're incentivizing people to pick between your platform or their platform.
Though. They don't have to pick.
No. And yes, they do. I do not own a PlayStation because I can't afford to own both a PlayStation and an Xbox.
Hey, if you have a PlayStation, you don't need to
buy
own
both at the same time. No, but you definitely can pick up a PlayStation,
and you don't even need one. You don't need one.
Yeah, I don't need one.
You can get Xbox. I mean, you can get Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month. They're still, matter of fact, they're still like doing the conversion from Xbox Live Gold. You could get like 4 months for like $2 right now. And if Elder Scrolls 6 was out, you could play it. It's not, but you can play Horizon, you can play Halo. I mean, you don't even have to buy the system. Xbox is saying they will provide for you, AJ, even if you don't own an Xbox.
Look, you are a Xbox evangelist and you are doing a great job. But the point that you're avoiding, that I'm going to keep going to, is that in order to play these games, you still have to give Xbox some money. And you're not gonna, and if you give Xbox this money, you're not going to go back and then give PlayStation this money. You're taking food out of PlayStation's mouth right now, talking about some, no, this is not a punishment. This is just, we're trying to make Xbox better. I know what you're doing here. It's capitalism. You're definitely trying to lay the pimp hand down on top of PlayStation. That's what you're trying to do.
It's not the pimp hand. Oh my God.
He said lay the pimp hand down.
On some PlayStation. That's what you're trying to do.
Oh my god!
Hey, you gotta keep that bang strong. Powder? But where's the? Oh my god! That brings us to the topic of the week, though. Like I was saying earlier, Xbox just had their birthday. I don't know.
Fuck
earlier this week. I forgot the date.
Happy motherfucking birthday!
Absolutely, and they're just having the best fucking week all the way around. We celebrated 20 years of Halo. They're coming out with a documentary, like a limited 6-part series, just about the history of Xbox. I know Creston's gonna be into that shit. That's coming out next month, like almost a week after Halo. A week after the campaign drops. They got a live action series coming out. That's coming to Paramount Plus next in 2022. Why the fuck did they choose Paramount Plus? Like, did nobody else want this? Like, I don't know.
Fucking Paramount Plus, man. I'm so fucking tired of those people. I can go on a whole tangent how I'm tired of these different streaming services. And I get it. Everybody needs a piece of the pie. Streaming is a large fucking profit margin. Fully understand. Sure. Paramount Plus, though. I just
like what? Come on, man. And then Phil Spencer talked about Game Pass being like they're not burning cash hoping for a big payout at the end. They said it's completely sustainable as a standalone product. Then they got mad heat coming down the pipeline. Like we just got Horizon 5, we got the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta. They got Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, they got Fable,
Outriders, New Horizon.
Yeah. All kind of stuff. Like, so I mean, he was like, "We're good. We're good over here.
We're straight."
And then cloud gaming launched on the One and the Series consoles this week, so you can stream like to your console.
I was asking Preston about that last time. Like, what is that out yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, you can literally boot into MCC right the fuck now, and I played about like 30 minutes straight. No lag, no bullets hidden over here, nothing. Like, it is fucking beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
I can't say enough about it. Like, it's fucking amazing.
It's good.
Also, I heard battle passes were a certain dollar amount. I'm like, I'm not getting a battle pass. Never. I might have turned the console on today, and I noticed it was slightly less than it was yesterday. I don't know. Somehow.
Long story short, Carl got a battle pass.
2,000
yeah
coins showed up in my account. I don't know.
Showed up in your account.
That's crazy.
How did that happen?
He just kept pressing fucking A. Just
is it like one of those physics questions where it's like technically all of the air in this room could be in the trash can? If like, is it one of those things where it's like that's just? I mean, it could happen. It's one of those probabilistic things.
Okay. Point is, when we boot up Infinite in like 5 minutes, Carl's gonna come with the drip because motherfucker has a battle pass. His Spartan is.
To be 100% honest, the battle pass doesn't allow you to really do anything. You got to go up. You still have to go up the levels to get the stuff.
Well, some stuff is in the store. If you got coins,
yeah, you got coins.
You know, Khajiit has wares. If you have coins,
so, yeah, but you have the battle pass costs points. All right, and then after you buy the battle pass, you got to buy more coins. You got to spend more coins.
If you got 2,000 and you buy the battle pass that doesn't, if you buy the one that's not the bundle, that's only 1,000. Then you got 1,000 coins to just
drip
style on niggas. Nah.
Look, it was magical. Really, I have no idea how it showed.
You don't know how it happened,
but
so
little
Halo specific stuff. We'll see what you done did, Carl, or what some Halo elves did when we boot up the game. So in like the first day or in a matter of 2 days, was it the first day or the second day? Either way,
first day.
They had 272,000 peak concurrent players on Steam for Halo, making it the most successful Xbox game launch on Steam like ever.
Fucking yes.
Horizon had less than half. They had like 61,000.
Fucking yes.
And they've already
right now on Switch. All right, 4th place.
Yeah. And they've already broken into the all-time top 25. So I mean, it's looking good so far. And then as far as the battle pass, I know we had some reservations, some growing pains. That was like the one thing I feel like we were all kind of like, this is not it, because it didn't give you enough chances to earn XP, and it was kind of a slog trying to get that XP to get the stuff that you wanted. But they patched it. It's live as of this morning, Eastern time anyway, this morning. And so, should be a better time. How are y'all liking the game, man?
I can't complain.
Besides that,
I mean, I want to fly things more, so like I haven't had a chance to fly a Banshee.
You can't fly shit though.
I can't, but I like to.
You can actually. So again,
no, he can't steer. Was my point. This nigga crashes.
Fuck you, Suave.
Getting one's life together is important, but if you're on big team battle, apparently mofos want to get into those things.
Oh yeah, they do.
They fight you for it, like lines, fam, like lines to get in, like virtual lines. Like this motherfucker, like he and I were both waiting on the platform. Mm-hmm. They and I were both waiting on the platform.
You should have betrayed him and taken it.
I was trying to blow the fucker up with a grenade. There's no friendly fire.
It's worth the attempt, though. You should.
It was. And so eventually, him and I both like ended up on both ends of the plane, right where it was gonna spawn. Yeah. Fucker, he must have had a faster internet than I did, because he definitely got into that motherfucker before I did. And then he just hovered in front of me to rub it in my face.
Yeah. If you had the repulsor, though.
Oh, maybe. That latency is a problem.
Latency is the problem. It's not so much speed, but latency.
But if you had the repulsor, you could have pushed them off the platform.
You're right. It could have.
Like right when it appears. Just repulsor. No, that's not a betrayal, because the platform, they were going to just land on a lower level, and then you just take the Banshee. Because the Banshees aren't always there are some levels where they're on cliffs. But most of the time, they're not on cliffs. They're on platforms. So there's stuff underneath it. So you just next time, just make sure you got a repulsor on you at all times, so you can, give yourself some space when you need it.
What I need is dedicated Slayer playlists. or at least more granular control of what's going to show up in playlist I choose.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's just
hey, appreciate that, DB Daryl.
Thank you.
Wow, nice. But yeah, so I don't think I can handle any more one flag CTF. That needs to be abolished.
One flag CTF is kind of fun though, Carl. Like,
no, it'll never be fun.
We'll play it tonight because there's only 4 of us, so that's a whole fucking team in one flag CTF. So you really can't be mad.
He's trying to make Carl go to bed early.
I'm rewarded for what I want to do, which is slaughtering. Okay, I can
so you can slaughter
these people.
Kevin, I will stay at the flag,
and then I get no points for that.
No,
what are we doing here?
We're protecting your space. It's called protecting your flag. You get it's a team effort, Carl.
Yeah.
Us together.
Life.
I agree. I do need them to bring back the playlist. Not like I'm enjoying the mix, and I know they probably have ideas for what should happen on what map, but like, I mean, just throw the maps in there. Let me play Slayer on every one and decide if I like it, or whatever else.
Hopefully, it's just because it's a beta and they're gonna refine that, but
yeah,
that's my one gripe. But it is butter, son, on that Series X.
Oh yeah, that thing I'm having a good time overall. And I was definitely very happy that it dropped early. I mean, it fucked up my week a little bit. I definitely
fucked up my fucking week, man. I tried so hard to be productive. I really did. And I know y'all saw me on Discord. I know y'all be judging me. Like, this nigga got 3 jobs and he's still playing video games all day throughout the day.
No, man, I'm impressed. Is what I am. He's found somewhere full time, while the rest of us idiots are walking around in regular linear time.
Like in between meetings, just like, all right, just one fucking more. Just one fucking more. Needless to say, I ain't get shit done this week, and tomorrow morning is gonna be crunch time. But you know what? Shit comes when it comes.
Gotta use that PTO on release day as facts. I was supposed to be. I had to open this PR today. Played Halo on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I had to run errands outside. I was like, I got up early and everything. I was up at like 8:30, like crunching on this shit all day. Definitely.
How long does it take you guys to get your PR merged?
Not long. I need the build to succeed, and I need one like code owner to approve, and then I can merge. But I didn't I had to write the code, Carl. I spent Tuesday playing Halo instead of writing code.
A little detail there, yeah. That's key. Yeah, I forgot about that.
See, he said PR, just a release, right? Code.
Nah.
That's what.
I gotta just deploy that thing. Nah.
The release is second, Swab. You write the code first. I don't know how your job does it, but I'm telling you the best way to do it.
Halo dropped, and I was confused. I thought I could just,
just merge an empty
just think about the code and merge
why
it.
You cannot do multiple spots at the same time. That shit would blow me. It would be too stressful.
Thanks, Halo. Appreciate that. But tomorrow we should be done. Right? I'm blocked right now. And we'll fix that tomorrow. Get the PR up, and I'll be back on Halo. It'll be good. Life is good. How dare you? This is why facts. Oh my gosh.
Limitations on me.
But no limits. Right. All right. So I mean that's it for unless y'all got anything else about Halo or this Xbox's birthday week.
Nah, they just fucked up my week of productivity. I was
being
really successful at work this week. I was getting shit done, solving problems.
Facts. I had plans.
Saw Swabs. I saw Swab loaded in Infinity and like Halo Infinity. Like, what is this man doing? And he was just like, it's about to come out. And I was like, no, it's not, because like it's not December yet. And then I saw the news, and I was like, well, fuck it then. I guess I ain't doing shit this week. And here we are.
I read an article
that thing on PC and Xbox. You read an article in Forbes? What did it say?
Forbes was the one that tipped me that it was coming out.
Damn.
I was like, okay. Like, if it wasn't in Forbes, I would have just been like, what internet troll is trying to get me to sit there and stare at the Xbox store?
Facts.
Like, shit.
But I was like, wait a minute. This is Forbes. Forbes is not gonna write an article about a game, about games, unless they found some sources. I trust them to, like, hey, the juice ain't worth the squeeze to just try to like be first for Forbes. It's more about just disseminating information. They're Forbes. They don't need that. They don't need to be first. They just show up and write supposedly a better article. Maybe, I don't know. So I just assumed like, yeah, this is real. And so I was talking to Carl earlier that day, and I was like, I think Halo Infinite is out. And then I went into the store and I was like, it's in the store. It says pre-order, but when I clicked it, it was like manage. And I was like, things are just. Then I clicked something else and I was like, I'm downloading the game. Like, this is happening right now. I was like, Carl, Halo Infinite is 70% done. Somehow Carl set up his Xbox. He was opening his Xbox while we were talking, set up his Xbox and downloaded the game before me. I started like 15 minutes.
That's that gigabit fiber.
I got gigabit too, but it's some new wires. That's what it is. Facts. I got this old crusty system.
He said, I got this old crusty system.
Nah.
The poor man.
Your copper's stale. That's what.
Your copper's stale. Damn.
Hey, he's unfortunately I can't argue with him. He beat me in a race.
Yeah, and you had a head start.
The remix to the tortoise and the hare is like the hare actually put in the work and the effort this time and just blazed past me. I was slow and steady for real.
Yeah, Halo. That was can't surprise people with shit like I talked to my PM on Tuesday. She was like, "What do you think about the level of effort for this?" And I was like, Friday at the latest. She was like, "Can we do it Thursday?" I was like, "No problem."
No,
no problem. A-okay. Halo ruined me.
I've been putting shit off since Wednesday. I had one of my bosses call me. They're just like, so hey, when can we get this, done? And I was like, man, like my kid's just not feeling well right now. So I'm just
my gosh, come
on. Listen, he really did have a fever, guys. Like that's
he did. Like a what? A 99.
You were on standby.
Yeah, technically it was 101. Thank you very much. That's a serious fever.
It's a serious fever.
It's just he was chilling on the couch and watching cartoons. So I mean, I didn't need to contend and take care of him or anything like that. He was in paradise.
Yeah.
And so was I. And so,
but you had to be at the ready, obviously.
I had to be at the ready.
No, absolutely. But you know what? I retract my statement. You're a great father, and you did the right thing.
You did.
And my son got to watch me play Halo all week, and then he played a little bit. He just kind of got ran over by a warthog, and whoever ran over my son with a warthog, I hope you burn it.
I thought you were going to say you had a particular set of skills.
That would have been better, but I don't think I'll ever find him.
At first, I thought you said you ran him over with the warthog. I was like,
that
sounds about right.
That's an asshole. Ran him over. He was just walking.
Damn.
He was just trying to look up. You know how hard it is, with thumbsticks trying to get the directionals. Yeah. He was just trying to look up, and then before he knew it, he was ran over. I was like, my poor baby.
Damn.
He seemed so sad too. He was just like, why'd they do that? And I was like,
damn,
because they're assholes, son. That's what happens.
That's rough. Right in the fields, right there.
All right. Cool.
And
then he kept wanting to drive the rest of the game. And
it's no,
it's not gonna work.
And he probably get his driving skills from you. It's crazy.
Oh goodness. And something happened with you two in a car, in Halo, in a Warthog, and Bob isn't healed from it yet. That's what I'm picking up.
In a Warthog, in a Pelican, on a mongoose.
Wait, but after a while, Swab, you gotta ask the question: why did you keep getting in the car?
This is true, Swab.
That's a very valid question.
It becomes your fault.
And the answer is that while he was in the vehicle, there were a couple times I didn't realize he was the driver. Like I got in a Warthog with Creston, I was like, and then when I realized it was Creston, I was like, oh no, this was a mistake. And we flipped over in like the next 30 seconds. I was like, oh my God.
Oh man.
And that's what happened. So what's good with y'all niggas this week? Oh my bad.
No, you good.
Speed round this shit because I'm trying to get to Halo.
Let's go. Go. You go.
Assassin. Anime the world's finest assassin's been fantastic. Haven't been to the comic book store because of the whole moving situation. Most of my shit's packed up right now. Also, I was threatened by my wife not to go anymore, but I mean, like, who fucking listens to that shit anymore?
Hey, I saw that cactus in y'all bathroom. It looked dangerous. No, truly.
Did you mention that? Fake cactus, because you know my ass probably would be the one to fall and hit that shit, so it's fake. She did have a real one that was in like the corner space, but I asked her to remove it for everyone's safety.
Right.
But yeah, mostly I've been doing like, work shit, Halo shit, / new house repair and painting shit. So Assassin was the only anime I really got to. So no comics. I did watch Red Notice on Netflix, which was pretty good. It was the whole Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot and stuff like that. So I mean, for like an action / like heist movie, it was good. It was okay. Ryan Reynolds did Ryan Reynolds shit, being paid to be Ryan Reynolds, and it's I love it. And then Rock did his shit, being paid to be Rock. Gal, I think, was the only one who just acted. I think that those two just kind of showed up on set and was just like, just tell me what the fuck I got to say, and I'll just do it. And that's what they did. But their chemistry was good. Action was good. A lot of like Nazi symbols in it, which if you watch it, you'll kind of get that. But yeah, like the whole like ending was just like nothing but like swastika. So I mean, fascinating twist. Not gonna ruin it for you.
Okay.
What else? What the fuck else? I feel
like for a certain sector of the country, you might have already ruined it for somebody.
This is true.
Get over it.
What the fuck else? I feel like I watched other stuff this week.
Spoilers, guys.
Genlock, season 2. I started that. So far so good. Cast is the same, animation style is the same. Looks like production value kind of went up a little bit. Like they gave him a little bit more money from leaving Rooster Teeth into coming to HBO Max. Did watch Love Life on I think Marcus's suggestion. So Julius and I watched Love Life first season, and first season was good. I'm always a fan of is it Anna Kendrick? Yeah. There's one white lady that I absolutely just love her character and feel like she'd be freaking dope to hang out with. And then the start of the second season, which is good. I think it's good. Love how they're doing like the whole intersection to where like it's a different, same style show, different main character, but still had some relationship to the season 1 focus. And I love the new focus on telling like legit fucking love stories. It's not like this, run after the taxi bullshit. It's like genuinely like meeting some random person that you have a connection with and you randomly start flirting, even though you're in a fucking relationship, and having to deal with the intricacies of that. And then like coming to the point in a marriage where just love isn't enough, and you're just trying to reconnect and stuff, but you keep growing distant and more distant, especially like in the social media age and shit like that. It's just, it hits on some good topics and it handles it really well. And it's also hysterical. But yeah, that's been it.
Be careful.
I can go next.
Go ahead.
So for me, I've been off the show for like a couple of weeks. A lot of stuff going down in November. But I watched. I started with Dune because everybody kept saying it was great. I was gonna try to read or listen to the audiobook before I watched the movie, but the audiobook is 20 hours. So I watched the movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was great. but it got me in like a mood for sci-fi. And then I found out that the guy who directed Dune also directed not Cyberpunk. I don't know why I said that. That thing's terrible. Blade Runner 2049. Oh, it's the numbers. It's the digits. That's what got me. It's 2077, 2049. So Blade Runner 2049 was, I think, done by the same director. And I don't know if anybody has seen the original Blade Runner. I mean, we are all nerds, but we're also not, Blade Runner's kind of a really old. It's really old and it's really slow. So it's really about the idea more so than the action is not great in Blade Runner. It's not exciting. It's Harrison Ford. To be honest, he doesn't do action well. He just has a very action face. But Indiana Jones is not a very good fighter. Face. He does. He has a good action face. He's got the jawline. But Indiana Jones isn't a good fighter. Han Solo's not a good fighter. And what's his name? Forget his name. Deckard. Something Deckard is not a good fighter in Blade Runner. They just shoot things. All three of them, and that's Harrison Ford's actual personality. He literally said that. He's like, "Can I just shoot the guy?" That's how the whole scene in Indiana Jones happened, where the guy was like flipping the sword around and he just pulls out the gun and shoots him. Like Harrison Ford was like asking the director, like, "Can I just shoot him?" Like he's doing all this stuff, but do I have to fight? Can I shoot him? And so that's how that started. But that's his character in every single action film, right? He's never like, whatever. But so if you've seen the original Blade Runner, I saw the director's cut, so that was my fault right there. Like that's an extra hour of footage, but not necessarily content. If you know what I mean? It's like a lot longer shots of just ships flying and weird eerie music. Yeah, like literally, it'd be like the intro is to a ship landing is longer by like 10 minutes in the director's cut. That's like the real difference to me, like in a lot of ways. So, but I did understand what Blade Runner did, and I think it's like pretty much one of the, like, you can see Blade Runner in Cyberpunk 2077. You can see the influences Blade Runner had on sci-fi, right? So I get why people love it, but I wasn't a fan too much of the original. I just watched it because every nerd that I knew told me I needed to watch it. But I really enjoyed 2049. I really enjoyed it. Like the whole replicants thing has been done over and over and over again, but it's the same thing as the Cylons in Battlestar Galactica, right? Like these artificial humans, yada yada yada. That's what the first Blade Runner was about. This one picks up like years after that. Obviously, same way they had to do with Star Wars, bringing you can't stop Harrison Ford from aging, so you have to age the story with him. And so you have this new character played by Ryan Gosling going around doing pretty much what Harrison Ford was doing, is blade running, or being a Blade Runner, which is basically like someone who hunts down, these replicants because they're supposed to be slaves. They're not allowed to have personalities. So anyway, I thought it was great. I heard a lot of bad stuff about it, but most of that was from Blade Runner fans, OG Blade Runner fans. So I heard a lot of like negativity about it, but I think it was actually good. I'm still in a sci-fi kick though, so I checked out Blade Runner Black Lotus, which came out literally like the day I finished Blade Runner 2049. I wasn't even looking for it on purpose, but I found it and I was like, wait, there's a Blade Runner kind of like 3D anime-ish kind of thing. It's on Adult Swim. It's also on Hulu and some other places. I think it's on Crunchyroll as well in the Japanese version, because I think it's originally Japanese. So it's another Blade Runner project. I watched the first episode of that. And so I just kind of followed my sci-fi kind of like into like that one wasn't very interesting. So that kind of like slowed the sci-fi momentum I had going, bounced out. And then I watched The Harder They Fall, the Western, Black Western. I enjoyed it. I know some people didn't necessarily like it. But I understand the Western, the plot device that they use. It's pretty much all Westerns are pretty easy to dissect. They don't have mysteries or twists, really, not big twists. There was a twist in this movie. The moment they started talking, I knew the twist. The moment he started talking, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Because
I see what this is.
Yeah, exactly. So you knew exactly what was happening. But it's a Western. They're not supposed to really have a twist. The Westerns always start the same way, right? You get to see the people. You get to see their skills. They join up together in a group. They have a big shootout. Then there's the conclusion. That's it. I didn't spoil that movie, but if I did spoil it, I've also spoiled every other Western you will ever watch. So, like, if you're watching a Western, you're watching it for the individual characters and their personalities. You fall in love with characters in Westerns. You don't really fall in love with the story because it's the same story almost every time. It's usually revenge. It's usually either revenge or defense. You're defending yourself from somebody very dangerous, or you're getting revenge on somebody very dangerous. That is Western motif. So it followed that perfectly, and I liked everybody in the movie. I liked every actor and actress in the movie. There wasn't a single person that I didn't like from another project. Well, maybe there are a couple that I didn't see, that I'd seen for the first time, but they also didn't disappoint. So I mean, I like Lakeith Stanfield's character, Cherokee Bill. He was just smooth. He just walked around. He was like super smooth. Obviously a terrible human being, but it's a Western. So what do you expect? But I mean, I liked all of the characters though. The main character, I keep forgetting the actor's name, but I like the one who played Nat Love, Zazie Beetz.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. So like I just really love that entire cast, and obviously I love to see an all black cast doing a Western. I have a friend who's a screenwriter or aspiring screenwriter, and he was writing a black Western. So I need to hit him up and be like, hey, did they take your whole idea or just pieces of it? And that, like, he had a very like I said, Westerns are all the same. So he had a very similar idea because they're all the same. But I want to see what he thought of the movie. But I'm sure there was other stuff. Obviously, Halo Infinite happened. I think when it dropped Tuesday, or when did it drop? I think it was Tuesday. I definitely lost about 2 hours of work in the process of downloading, and then
that's light work.
Monday, it dropped Monday. Yeah,
because that might have been when a certain package showed up.
So yeah, drop Monday. I definitely lost time playing Halo Infinite. Would have lost more, but I just literally can't lose any less sleep and consider what I'm doing sleep. It would literally be considered just resting my eyes if I lost any more sleep. So I haven't been able to play it as much as I wanted to. Hopefully, we'll get into it tonight. But that's it for me.
Sweet. Yeah. I watched that stuff. Not all of that, but Dune and The Harder They Fall. I watched that while you were out and enjoyed them both thoroughly. My one critique was that Stagecoach Mary could have been casted differently, but people disagreed for other reasons.
Aesthetic reasons, or
yeah.
Are you saying she could have been? Is this a?
Could have been more true to life. There's there's plenty of roles for women who look like her, but
okay. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought this was a value scale issue.
No. She was good.
No, but I'm saying, like, in terms of like color values, like was she too high on the color spectrum? Was she more tech than Carl? Was that what your issue was?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. There were some people who were here who disagreed for reasons that have nothing to do with ethics.
Oh no, she's gorgeous. Yeah. I get it. No, I disagree as well. Yeah. I literally said Zazie Beetz. Like, I didn't say what she did in the movie. I was just like, she's in it.
She's in it. I'm sold. I'm sold.
She is in it. She's half the reason I watched Atlanta. The other half was curiosity.
Oh, she was in Atlanta?
Yes. She's his girlfriend.
She's the girlfriend of the
beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Was that Atlanta?
No.
Yes.
No, she's in The Shy.
No, she's in Zazie Beetz is his girlfriend in Atlanta.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes,
yeah,
she's his girlfriend in Atlanta. I told you, I only watched it because she was in it.
He's like, I'm dedicated.
Oh my
god! You know how terrible, how stupid I would have to be to watch a show and be like, when is she showing up? When is she showing up? Like a season and a half.
Yeah. I mean, you might just be recalling the name of the show wrong. I don't know.
That's true. Nah, she's definitely
you're right
in it.
though.
She's also Domino in Deadpool. If you want to start naming her credits.
I mean, IMDb out here. Wow.
Hey,
I'm saying.
Look, some things are memorable in life, and it just happens. You don't force it.
This
seems a little forced.
No. It's all natural.
Oh, that was a whole different light-skinned woman. All right, never mind.
Wow, they all look alike to you, huh, Swab? Wow. Wow.
No comment.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Moving on.
So moving on to to what's good with me this week. I started watching Dark. My wife's friend was watching it and it was extolling its virtues. So we're watching it now. It is fucking weird. But if you fuck with sci-fi, it might be, and it's a certain type, I would say. Like if you like sci-fi where they tell the story and you're like in the dark for the most part and they're not really telling you what's going on, this will be for you. And you like a little bit of like thriller with your sci-fi.
That's the exact opposite of sci-fi. Like that's the exact opposite reason. Sci-fi explains everything. Like everything. They're basically deconstructing the medium by saying, "Hey, you're not gonna know how this particle accelerator works."
We haven't even gotten to the mechanics of what's happening. It's a show about this small town. Weird shit is happening. We don't know what it is, why it is, where it is. Like it's strange. It's strange. And it's definitely I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. I don't want it to be a situation where they're doing all this and then they never tell me what's going on. I'm gonna be very upset if that's where we end up and they're just like, you never found out. I would be very unhappy with that type of ending for this type of show. Continue with The Amazing Race. It's entertainment. It's light and it's like easy to watch. Don't have to pay too much attention, so watching that. Watch Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. That was fantastic.
Oh, that's right. I did watch Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was really good. There's definitely some stuff where I'm like, that makes no sense. But if they made it make sense, we probably wouldn't have a movie. So I try not to. It
wouldn't be sci-fi if it made sense. It'd just be sci.
It'd just be sci. Try not to dwell on it.
Have that fire out of there.
Oh my god! Get the fire out. Right? Has anybody not seen it? Like, just I'm just gonna say this. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler it. It was in the movie.
We are absolutely. I'm about to absolutely spoil this. But like, when the dad was like being a fucking reckless dumbass, punching these scales. Like, first of all, you don't see this shit flying out of here. Like, what?
Facts.
So you think
he was not paying attention?
You think your wife is in there with these things and she's alive and talking to you from inside? Okay.
And talking to you in such a calm voice. Like, if I was in there with a bunch of monsters, I'd be like, hurry, they're monsters, they're eating time. Like, she was like, no, just keep doing what you're doing.
Just keep doing it. Yeah.
And then soul-stealing monster comes out of the crack. That's strange. Keep doing it. Don't worry about the soul-stealing monster behind you.
That's that. No problem. And then, like, so you let out this fucking mega beast soul stealer demon thing, and then you just decide to die and pass on the rings. You haven't taught me anything. You're just like, here, I'm gonna die. Nigga, use the fucking rings. Like, kill that fucking thing. You don't get to just die and be like, all right, it's up to you now. You let this out of here. Clean
also,
up this
the
mess.
rings give him immortality. The thought process is that means his soul should not be able to be sucked out. Like
it gives him immortality, right? But souls have nothing to do with mortality. They're like kind of locked to a mortal coil. So technically, the only thing that should happen is his body should never degrade if he still has the rings on him. His soul could definitely be removed. But
okay.
We don't really know what
but you can stop that process.
You're
still wearing the rings. You need to turn around and mollywop that thing.
Just straight Debo it.
That's true, because Shang-Chi definitely killed it with the rings.
The same way his father could have.
You had rings. You had the ring. It's like, but you were like,
you've had the rings for what 1,000 years, I think it was.
Bruh, yeah, you're an expert at wielding these things.
The expert. Like, there's nobody better than you. Your son, nah, fam. He's playing with blocks right now. He's not ready.
but
I couldn't believe that shit.
What's kind of annoying about that, but also kind of like you can kind of tell it was just remorse. Like it's annoying. Like you can, but what they're trying to do is redeem the man, right?
Yeah.
He kills the dragon. You think he's gonna be like, all right, now you guys can put me in a cell for all the evil I've committed for 1,000 years. No, he's gonna go back to being an evil guy, and he probably was just tired of being the bad guy, and so he was like, he'll figure it out. Oh shoot,
this motherfucker.
Are you allowed to be here?
I don't think so.
Oh shit!
What's here?
These niggas out of here.
Go.
God, this
Congratulations.
Hey.
Let's go.
Married.
What's going on?
He's married now.
Just me and JK
Carl, your
over here in the
froze.
single streets.
Yeah, Carl, damn. Carl was so excited his shit froze.
His shit froze.
God damn, fucking eyelash got mine.
How was the day? Cut looks good.
Oh man. It was good. It was good. All right, here we go. Yeah, it was real good. Yeah, it was real chill. We just went to the courthouse. We took a lot of pictures. So I should have some pictures probably to like Sunday or some shit. So I'll share with y'all. But yeah, it was real chill. We just spent like the last few hours just eating, talking shit. Playing a little bit of Smash. Oh yeah, we're watching a lot of music videos and shit. And
y'all weren't watching the podcast,
right?
You said what?
Y'all weren't watching the podcast.
We were. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just wanted, because we need viewers.
Facts.
I mean, y'all the whole house of viewers.
Subscriber.
He said, "Who would have guessed two of the podcasters would find love for this fucking man?"
Oh my god!
He talking trash.
As always talking trash.
Wow.
Together.
Take the day off. There's no trash talking today.
There's no trash talking.
Hey, he just needs to go back and play Deathloop and get motion sickness again, so he'd be good.
Oh damn!
Oh man, don't be bringing up people's secrets.
Hey,
bringing up people's weaknesses on live air.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
AJ, that should be a good thing for you, sir.
I mean, I gotta fight him in the streets, so now I know if I hold like a moving screen up to his face, it's gonna be disoriented.
It's
on site. It's on site.
I have no choice.
Oh my god. So, is Carl? You gonna make it back, dog? What's going on?
He's coming.
Carl got so excited that his internet just went out.
His internet blew up.
Damn.
I'm sure his laptop just died.
Probably.
Right at the wrong time.
Oh damn, that's rough. But yeah, Shang-Chi was good. That shit, I was like, wow. And I mean, you don't have to surrender and go to jail, nigga. You still got the rings. If you want, you could at that point either give them up and go to jail, which you would have no choice at that point because you would have no powers, or you can keep them and just fucking leave.
Also, who's gonna put him in jail?
Nobody's put him in jail. But check this out.
If he gave up the rings, obviously.
So you're the villain. You've been the villain to the world. Like, technically, this guy's been the villain to the world, not just
for sure.
He's been running things behind the scenes, killing people and assassinating people for 1,000 years. you're a bad guy. The only thing you can do is wait another 1,000 years, do nothing bad for another 1,000 years, and then just reinvent yourself. Like that's the only thing you can do. Because you're gonna have enemies talking about you you gotta wait till their children's children are dead, and then you can restart your life. So technically, he could have waited, but dude, don't you think the guy was just tired? Like his body was immortal, but his mind is like, dude, I'm done. Take these rings, nigga. Take these rings. Just let me go.
Don't you think like he would have? Like, I mean, he's been in the game, especially since Iron Man. Like 10 rings have been known,
but those were just false.
If it wasn't for 10 rings, there would be no Iron Man. There would be no Captain America. There wouldn't be Avengers.
Yeah, but that's like saying because if it wasn't for the atom bomb, there'd be no nuclear power plants.
Right, power plants.
And I think we're doing fine without nuclear power plants, and the atom bomb really did screw up the world a little bit. But I think the main issue, Suave, that you're having is right. Technically, yes, he could have killed that dragon with his own 10 rings. But I feel like he was tired. He's like, I've been evil for 1,000 years. My kids hate my gut. My wife is dead. I got nothing but these damn 10 rings.
And I totally understand that. 1,000% understand. You are tired, but you made this fucking mess. You can't just what are you doing? Let the dragon eat you or something. You can't just come in here and be like, oh well. I let this out, and it's trying to murder everybody. But I'm tired. So
man, he trusted his son. His son went one-on-one with him and did
Carl, you reconnected to Discord automatically, and we're looking at an empty room here, bud.
What is that in the background?
Oh, there you go.
What is that? Like napkins?
It looks like it was a cover. The stuff his Xbox was packed in.
Yeah.
It's probably Xbox FedEx packaging. But yeah.
Napkins.
This nigga. But yeah. So we can talk some more about it. But we gonna put a pin in it for now.
Mm-hmm.
All in all,
been watching
fantastic movie.
Absolutely,
top 5,
100%.
Top fucking 5 of Marvel.
It was
for
really,
sure.
really good. Maurice had mentioned that the ring. What's up?
It was the Asian version of Black Panther.
Kind of, but it was less fantastical than Black Panther though. Like even though they had more mystical stuff, like that little village does not equate to what Wakanda is.
Not even a little.
It's like that forest is cool and all, but like Wakanda is like literally an entire civilization, like just hidden from view.
Very true. Okay. And I will say that little village is only one of many, supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I think if I understood her story right, there was more, and then the darkness creatures destroyed everything. And it became.
I thought they just destroyed most of the big ones.
They were more advanced, I guess, than Wakanda at that point. Then, but then they got eaten by that soul sucker, and what's that hurt?
No, it wasn't a parallel universe.
Murray said it was a parallel universe, wasn't it? I don't know.
The thing, I think the thing
adjacent to Earth.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing.
It is. You know what? We're gonna move on. It was a good movie. Everybody loved it. Bravo. Watched Succession and read a lot of hating ass tweets. People calling it the people talking in room show. But I've been having a good time. I started watching, like my wife was watching Love, Sex, and Goop. And like because she had started it before you talked about it, and then you talked about it, and she was watching. I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. And I saw like half an episode. It's a pretty good show. I like the way they handle everything and talk about everything. It's very emotionally aware and everything like that. It was cool. And then played Halo, obviously, to my own detriment, and it was great. I'd probably do it again. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What about you, Carl? What's good with you this week?
So Izzy, man, you gotta share those things. You can't just put that on camera. Is that a grapefruit or a peach?
Oh, it's great. Fruit. That's how we roll out here.
But things fresh.
So almost everything that I was watching, I did not watch this week. So no Succession, no World Trigger. I think I might have caught an episode of Goop, Love, Sex, and Goop. But you know, I was watching last week. I was watching. Was it Our Kind of People? Didn't see none of that. This whole week has been very weird. I've been in like a little fog. Like I was telling my wife, I don't know what the heck is going on about anything. Don't know what the kids are doing. Don't know what's going on at job. I just feel completely disconnected. So, but what I did watch was, you know, a couple Warrior games. Watched the Warriors handle business a couple nights ago. They almost messed around and lost to the Cavs tonight, but you know, Steph had to get another 40-point night. Get that done. Won by 15 at the end. I did watch The Harder They Fall. I really like that. I was gonna like Cherokee Bill quite a bit, but then he jumped the
he's a dirtbag.
The countdown. I'm like, really, like when he counted down, I knew it was gonna happen. I'm like,
yeah,
just prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
That's common in Westerns though. It's like you got the guy who's like, I win the fight because I just take what I want, right? Like that's very common trope. So it didn't surprise me that he did that he was that type of character. Because like all the lore built up around him is he's the fastest gun, but his personality didn't tell me he was the fastest gun. His personality told me he just didn't lose because basically he did what he needed to do to win. Like he surviving for him was winning, not being the fastest draw. So if he jumps the count, he jumps the count. He don't care. You're dead.
I wanted honor amongst thieves, and
absolutely
didn't get that.
Sir.
Yeah, I mean the first fight he walked away. He was like, oh, I finally get to meet you, and blah 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 blah. And he was just like, I ain't got time for this, and he just walked away.
Yeah, like that should have let me know right there, but like I was hoping for it. But anyway, I enjoyed the heck out of that movie, and I figured once you got through a sizable portion of the movie, and they don't explain why he killed dude's father, I'm like, they're freaking related somewhere. Like I'm not sure if they're brothers or uncles, but they're related.
It was his.
Yes, I spoiled it. Take it.
It was the uncle. It was his uncle.
No, it was his brother.
It was his brother.
That was his brother.
Oh, it's his brother. Okay.
You guys did that. I didn't even do that. Take it.
You spoiled it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I mean, it kind of, if you hear the monologue at the end,
it's too obvious at the end when he starts talking. You're like, oh no. Yeah. Swab and I were talking about this earlier. Like that was not a secret. Like, oh gosh,
they kind of tipped it off when he did that little breathing thing.
Yeah,
where he was like, and he did that, and he did it right after he got out of the at the trail. Yeah, I mean at the train, out of the cell in the train.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I wonder. Like I thought he like trained them or something. Like something.
Oh yeah, because they both do the same. They both have that same what you call it? That same mannerism.
Yeah, that same breathing. Like,
is it me or when he did that? Like the world just
slowed,
distorted and slowed down, like in Matrix.
Yeah. There was like a little effect.
It was like a little, like a, you know, when Neo first inhabited Mr. Smith in the first Matrix.
Yeah, and then he flexed and the whole world bent a little bit and then it kind of like went back to normal.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of like.
Yeah, it's probably just a way of like describing how he slows things, these situations around him down to kind of like process.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's like the one legit thing I watch besides basketball games.
Oh yeah.
But of course played Halo. And I made sure to never play while I was on the job. It's never happened.
We
But
did play
I did
lunch.
get some games in. So
We did play during lunch.
You never played on the job, Carl?
never.
Okay, never.
Not a
Never.
single time.
Nah.
He didn't. He played Hulu. He played Hulu, but not Halo.
What's that?
JK, I may have played Halo on Monday.
Oh, I know
at a certain time.
I know you did.
I may have joined a party with not a party, but a part of a fire team with a few individuals on this chat.
Oh, I know you did.
Well after 5 p.m.
Well after 5. Yeah, but I was playing before 5 p.m. with a friend.
Yes, I know. I remember. I saw it came up on my phone. I saw it.
Oh wow. I definitely thought, when I sacrificed that time, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be a problem. This is a breeze. It was not a breeze. But Halo was worth it. Absolutely. Is that it for you, Carl? Or you got some more? What's this nigga do?
Talk to
He's getting in trouble.
Oh damn.
You're like a deer in the headlight.
I'm saying, nigga drank the last Izzy.
That's what it is.
That's
exactly what it is.
It's not the last one.
It's not the last one.
But it's probably the only cold one. The other one, you probably replaced it with a warmer one.
That's not something I do. Okay.
Oh man. All right.
And how dare you?
That's how I know I'm right. Man, that was good. That was a good guess.
That was
You're completely correct.
That's good.
Oh my god. All right. That's it for you, Carl? Or you did some more shit besides not playing Halo?
Absolutely. Didn't do anything else.
It's free.
This has been the most worthless week in quite a while.
Nice. It'd be like that. I resolved to stop working so hard, so all right, man. Do y'all two newcomers want to go, or you think we should?
We don't care.
Get into
Halo.
Comers. We the original OGs in this month.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, it's Halo just ruined my week.
That's the story for everybody, isn't it?
It ruined my week.
Well, that's feel ruining my weeks. So
yeah.
Halo just added on to it.
Haven't watched much. Narcos. I've been catching up on Narcos, and I caught up on Insecure. Caught up on that giant. But Halo. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah.
Facts.
So
play Halo on the stagnant.
Facts. That was the bachelor party. Halo.
Is that me? Oh, that's oh no, that's
the coast.
Oh, she's upstairs.
So I mean, that's it for the podcast portion. We want to thank y'all again for joining us. Definitely let us know if there's something you haven't seen us talk about, you want our perspective on. Follow us at Blurred Dimension everywhere if you haven't already, namely here on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you fuck with the content, give us a thumbs up, heart, whatever is platform appropriate. It's free for you, helps out with the algorithms. If you are on Twitch, feel free to give us that sub. If you got Prime, that thing is free for you. And we stream the podcast live on Twitch Thursday nights. So make sure you come through next week. We're going to take a quick little break, but stay tuned for After Podcast Gaming. About to get into this Infinite. All right, Samson, thanks for coming, man. We'll see you next time, hopefully.